As history will tell you, there'd been a lot of money pumped into the club. They'd made big signings from Australia: Andrew Ettinghausen, Cliff Lyons, Sam Bacco. So it was important that we got some return.
Do you feel that weight of expectation? Obviously, Leeds have paid world record fees for Lee Crooks and Garry Schofield to come in as well. Was there a level of expectation going into the game?
I think there was, but to be honest, I don't think we basically came into the game as favourites. I think Castleford were leading the competition. We were running fourth, I think it was. So actually coming into the game, Castleford were favourites. So that took a little bit of pressure off. But Leeds Castleford games are always special, and especially to play them in the Yorkshire Cup Final, it added that little bit of extra spice to the game.
John, 30 years on from that Yorkshire Cup Final, does it still feel painful memories?
Still painful. Yeah, I think every final that you're playing and you lose, you have painful memories of them.
The game itself, what do you recall of it?
Not a great deal, actually. I can remember getting an interception to Carl Gibson, which was one of my better moments. I think we were quite close in the first half, but I think Leeds deserved winners in the second half.
You came into the final in great form under your new coach, Darryl van der Velde. You must have been confident going into the match.
Yeah, we were confident. Like I said, we had a good start. I think that season we went the first 9 games unbeaten. Top of the league. We've got a new coach, like you're saying, Daddle. As old coach, Malcolm Reilly, who were coaching Leeds at the time. So we wanted to put on a good show.
Yeah, great memories, and when you look at the crowd what was there as well, 27,000 people, big local rivalry. Leeds were a decent start to that season, 4th in the league. Castleford were riding high and top of the league. New coach in Darryl van der Velde. We had a new coach in Mal Reilly as well, so it was all to play for. Nothing better than your great rivals at Castleford here. Literally 27,000 people, and hey, listen, we got off to a great start. Interception from himself in the first 4 minutes and set the platform.
How special was it for the local lads, people like yourself and those and Paul Medley who come through the system through the Colts at least to beat Castleford in a final?
Well, it was, and I say, but also as well, it was something for the Aussies to admire as well, because they've not played like in stadiums. The noise is what they played against. We all know the difference between the English fans and the Aussie fans, and so they never experienced an atmosphere like it as well. And I don't think they appreciate the local rivalry until they got into an atmosphere like this in a stadium. So, but yeah, great. Let's say Leeds at that time they were looking to build. They were spending some good money on big signings, and what better way to start? We had a new coach, as I mentioned, in Mal Reilly, so looking to lay the platform, and we certainly did that. And there was nothing better. When you talk about being the champions of Yorkshire, like the other side of the Pennine, champions of Lancashire, it was brilliant. And let's say, what better way to do it against Castleford?
And Mal Reilly had come in as coach, a man synonymous with the Castleford club. Did that feel a bit strange at the time?
Not necessarily strange, but it took a while for the team to settle. There'd been a fair turnaround in personnel, and especially with the overseas players coming in, it does take time to settle. But the game itself, we played particularly well, and even though the game itself, the result hinged on a couple of key intercepts from Carl Gibson and Garry Schofield, I think we were worthy winners.
Cliffy Lyons was man of the match. How special was it to play alongside him?
Oh, Cliffy was phenomenal. So laid back, but he was a tremendous footballer. He got all the attributes. He could read a game. He could attack, and really take on defences. And he wasn't afraid. He was really brave, and he could play.
How special was it afterwards, the celebrations?
Well, that's another thing I can't remember, but the memories are always great, and especially coming to a ground like this, Elland Road, and playing in such a big game. It does stay in the memory.
It feels strange seeing Mal in the Leeds dugout, such a Castleford legend as a player and a coach.
Yeah, a little bit, but I suppose that's sport. Like Malcolm had been coaching me since 1974, so it was a bit strange seeing him there.
And I say under the new coach in Van der Velde, I think they were riding 9 from 9. But I tell you what, the thing for us was when we saw an interview by Darryl van der Velde saying, yeah, listen, we're playing brilliant with the best side at this moment in time, and all we need to do now, we've got to make sure that we turn up, and then we're going to win the silverware. We didn't need a lot of motivation from our coach in Malcolm, really, to be honest with you, from there. But what a quality game of rugby league it was. It had everything. When you looked at some of the matchups, when you looked at Lee Crooks and Kevin Ward ripping into each other, you looked at Colin Maskill and the quality of Kevin Beamore hookers from there, you looked at the second row, was it Mark Brook Cowden against Ronnie Gibbs. There was some real matchups, and then when you looked at the back line as well from there, there, there was some real quality out there, and it was a quality game of rugby league. I know the scoreline will tell you 33-10, that we won it quite convincingly, but I'll tell you what, for the full 80 minutes, it was a quality game and it was a very, very tough game.
Cass under Darryl Powell had a real resurgence in recent years. Must be great to see.
Fantastic to see. Darryl's done a great job. They've been playing well. I think last season, again, they came unstuck against Leeds in the grand final. But up to that, I think everybody agreed that they'd played the best rugby league that had been seen for a while.
And they've carried on that fine tradition of the way rugby's played by Castleford sides down the years.
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't really know, but I think that'll give people the opportunity to play, and if they see opportunities that they can go for, they're encouraged to do so.
It'd be great to see a big cast turnout here on Friday as well to cheer.
Yeah, I think the sport's been fantastic again. Cast matches, they always take a good way of following, so it should be a great atmosphere.
And as a game of whole, having a Super League game here at Elland Road, a good advert for the sport.
I think so, yeah. And like you say, if there's 20,000 here, it'd be a great advert for the sport.
And we're back here on Friday night for the Super League clash between the Rhinos and Castleford. It promises to be another classic encounter, the first game since the grand final meeting.
Yeah, looking forward to that, but I don't think that grand final meeting will have any bearing on Friday's game. I'm sure both coaches will, be alluding to that and making sure that they're concentrating on trying to get the 2 points.
Cass have had some tough times in the last few decades, but they're back right at the top of the game now. How great is it to see that Cass and Leeds rivalry back up at the forefront of the game?
It's massive, isn't it? Because when you look at the supporters of both sides, and the numbers, what they bring, and the atmosphere, what they bring, that's what the game needs. And we all know what Leeds have done, certainly now over the last 12 years, certainly in the Super League era, and Castleford now under the leadership of Darryl Powell, they're getting that consistency. And we all know what happened last year with the form what they showed the grand final against Leeds. Hey, listen, and who's to say that that won't happen again this year? But it's the first game they've had since the grand final. So we all know what Castleford did to us last year. They're beating us by 4 games on the bounce. That great comment from Brian McDermott after getting walloped at Castleford 68-10. Don't rule us out of the grand final. I tell you what, this is set up again. All right, there's no compensation, you would say, for Castleford after the grand final, but they'll be looking for revenge. They'll be wanting to put a marker down against Leeds, and Leeds will be doing the same against Cass. I just hope again we had 27,000 people making it a great atmosphere back in '88. Let's hope we get this Friday.
It'd be great to see Elland Road rocking for a game. Great advert for rugby league as well.
Absolutely. For the two clubs, for the supporters, and the game in general. And I think, to be honest as well, when you look at the quality so far in Super League this year, you'd maybe say Leeds and Saints put the marker down certainly last week. I would imagine this one will certainly set the platform again, because the two quality sides.